Hello friends and welcome back. In this section, we will discuss iteration and jump statements. Iteration statements let us repeat actions. So we also call them loops or looping statements. To understand the role and utility of loops in programming, I will walk you through a hypothetical scenario. Let's say I am throwing a party at my house and 10 of my friends will be joining me. I want to instruct my computer through a Java program to bake 10 pizzas for my friends. What are the steps involved in making a pizza? We start by preparing the dough for the pizza. After that, we add pizza sauce, cheese and toppings of our choice to the pizza. Then we bake the pizza in oven for 15 minutes and our yummy pizza is ready. Our pretend pizza baking program will simply print a line for each of the steps of the pizza baking process. We first print preparing the dough to the console. After that, we add pizza sauce followed by cheese and toppings of our choice. I want to make a veg, onion, capsicum and olives pizza. Then we put our pizza in oven for baking. Baking takes some time and I want to simulate it by putting some delay in the program's execution. Thread.sleep is the method to use in such situations. Thread.sleep pauses the execution of the program for a specified amount of time. The time is provided in milliseconds as an argument to the method. This line thread.sleep 1000 will introduce a delay of 1 second in program's execution. After that, we print pizza is ready to the console. Let me execute the program and show you the effect of thread.sleep. Once I execute the program, notice that the line pizza is ready will get printed after some delay. I will bring up the console window. I am executing prepare pizzas method now. Did you notice the delay? You may have missed it. 1 second is too short a time. Let me increase it to 10 seconds, then you will surely notice it. Now pizza is ready will get printed after a delay of 10 seconds. I am executing prepare pizzas method now. All the lines before thread.sleep gets printed. Pizza is ready is not printed yet. Let's wait for it. Now pizza is ready gets printed. Just to make sure you understand what thread.sleep does, I will comment out this line and execute the program again. This time, all the lines are executed immediately. Let me uncomment it and change the delay back to 1 second. You would have also noticed this throws interrupted exception in the definition of prepare pizzas method. This is related to exceptions. As exceptions are not part of ICSE computer applications syllabus, you can safely ignore this part. I will still briefly explain it for those of you who are interested. Thread.sleep method throws interrupted exception. We are not handling it in prepare pizzas method. In Java, except error and runtime exceptions, all exceptions are checked exceptions. So, the compiler requires us to mention in the definition of prepare pizzas method that it may throw interrupted exception. Don't worry if this explanation about exceptions didn't make any sense to you at all. Exceptions is a relatively advanced concept and we haven't discussed it. So it is perfectly fine if you are not able to follow the explanation. As I said before, you can safely ignore it. Okay, coming back to our pretend pizza baking program, right now it is baking only one pizza. But we need 10 pizzas. What should we do to make our program bake 10 pizzas? Very simple. I will copy these lines and repeat it 9 more times. This will give me 10 pizzas. Let me do it and execute the program. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will execute the program now. Okay, my pizzas have started baking. It's still baking. And now my pizzas are ready. But wait, my friends just called me and said they want non-veg pizzas. But my program is baking veg pizzas. Let's change the program to add chicken to the pizzas. Now I need to make this change at 9 more places. So I'll copy this line and add it to the other 9 pizzas as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was too much work. Just after making this change, I came to know that one more friend is coming, so I need 11 pizzas now. I'm going to repeat these lines one more time to bake 11 pizzas. Do you see now how much difficult it is to maintain this program? Even to make simple changes, so much effort is required. There must be a better, more efficient way to do this. Turns out there is. We have a set of statements that are repeating in this program. Whenever an action repeats, we must use loops. We briefly looked at loops in our second Java program chapter. Let's try using it here. This is the code to bake a single veg onion capsicum olives pizza that we started with initially. I will put it in a for loop to execute it 10 times. Let me run the program now. Our 10 veg pizzas are ready. If I want to bake non-veg pizzas, it is just a single line of change, like this. Instead of baking 10 pizzas always, I can change the program to ask me how many pizzas I need and bake that many pizzas. I will use the scanner class to take the number of pizzas to bake as input from the user. I will run the loop that many times. I will run the program now. I need 11 pizzas and my pizzas have started baking. And my 11 pizzas are ready. Now I can enjoy the party with my friends. I hope this gives you a good idea of the importance of loops in programming and how they simplify the life of a programmer. Java provides 3 looping statements: for, while and do while. These 3 loops are grouped into 2 categories: entry controlled loops and exit controlled loops. An entry controlled loop checks the condition at the time of entry. Only if the condition is true, the program control enters the body of the loop. For and while are entry controlled loops. An exit controlled loop checks the condition after executing its body. If the condition is true, loop will perform the next iteration, otherwise program control will move out of the loop. The do while loop is an exit controlled loop. The main difference between entry and exit controlled loops is that in case of entry controlled loops, if the condition is false, the body of the loop is not executed at all, not even once. In case of exit controlled loop, since the condition is checked at the end of its body, so even if the condition is false, the body of the loop will get executed once. Don't worry if this concept of entry and exit controlled loops is still not very clear to you. Once we have completed our discussion of for while and do while, you will easily understand this entry and exit control concept.